Good morning, everyone. It's Suzanne Taylor King here, life and mental performance coach for entrepreneurs. And we are here for another edition of the Idea Lab Coffee Chat. And we're here this morning with one of my incredible connections from LinkedIn, James Kerr. Good morning.
Good morning, Suzanne. It's so great to be here with you.
You too. It's great to have you. And I want to just say the power of LinkedIn is really incredible. And I've met so many amazing people, not only through the content that they share, which you do an incredible job, and we'll get into that, but actually connecting in real life with people, having a real authentic conversation, building rapport. And now when you post and I comment or you comment on mine, we feel as though in some way you actually know the person, which I love. And I know you're all about that too. So it's really great to have you here today. And I would love to know, besides your great book, which is on my to read shelf, I haven't read it yet, but I've ordered it.
Okay.
And it is on the to read shelf. So
Excellent.
very excited about that. What else are you up to these days?
Well, you know what? I've got a really exciting new program that I designed with my good friend Mandy Morris, and it's all about reclaiming your authentic self. And it's a program that we bring into corporations and can deliver to a group of people to help with their own personal growth and well-being, which, as you and I know, the last couple of years have been really, really tough on everyone. And this kind of a program, I think, is really appropriate right now because it's a way for leaders to deliver something that could be meaningful to their people and help people kind of get themselves, focused on where they want to go next. And it's a pretty cool program, and we do it over the course of a few days, and I think it's delivering good results.
Well, I love the word authentic for one. I know it's a little overused and talked about, really tapping into being your true self, not only, in leadership, but on social media. And I'm curious about how do you differentiate between, being real, being authentic, and giving too much information, TMI, right? There's
Right.
there's a balance as an entrepreneur. And I notice with I work pretty much exclusively with entrepreneurs, and I notice, depending on where they are in their journey, that line of what do I share and what do I keep here, um, that's the hardest part for them in the beginning. Do you find that to be true?
Uh, sure. The thing with the program that we're talking about, it's really about trying to get unstuck. So we've all kind of had to deal with a ton of challenges that we didn't expect to have to deal with over the last couple of years. And as a consequence, we've got sort of an emotional and mental sort of hindrances that have rose to the top. And this program is about trying to get that identified and then determining what you got to do to move forward. In regard to the notion of sharing too much information, yeah, I think that's always a risk for anybody interacting with anybody else.
Mm.
But the thought here on this program is it's something that you can do for yourself. It's not something that you're going to necessarily broadcast. Our hope is by the end of the program, you've got an action plan that you're going to follow to move forward, to get unstuck and to continue on towards achieving whatever it is you have as a vision for yourself.
Well, I like that. So this journey of getting yourself unstuck from, where we've been as humans for the last 2.5 years, we're really coming out of something that's life changing, that'll be remembered forever. Yeah. And I know getting back to a routine, getting back to taking care of yourself, getting back to who you are as a leader, when you're been working at home for the last 2.5 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, and I know remote workforces are struggling with that a little bit. So I like the fact that you're addressing who we are as humans, and that has a ripple effect that really comes out to the corporation, the team,
absolutely.
and your family at home.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
this
Yep.
is really personal work, but it translates into every area of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the steps, it's a four-step process, but one of the steps is actually crafting your own personal sort of vision story. And the origin story is important. So wherever you've come from and whatever you've done to get to where you are at the moment is important to understand and recognize and sort of appreciate it for what it is, because it got you here. But now you want to move forward. You want to get unstuck. What do? Well, one of the things we recommend is, you know, craft a story. Talk about your strengths, your weaknesses, your values. What's your ideal home setting? What's your ideal work setting? Your hobbies. What do you do to recharge? Um, the way you partner with others, the way you love others, handle conflict, success, change, all those things should be incorporated in this story. And if you can write it in a way that's more complete than not, then you're going to end up with something that you can reference back to and say, yeah, this is what's going to guide me forward. These are the things that I think are important and what I want for myself. And then the action planning, which is really the fourth step in our approach, is to say, okay, you've described where you want to be. You understand your origin story, but you've described where you want to be through this vision story that you've built for yourself. What's the gap? What's the delta between where you are and where you want to go? And then how can you fill those gaps through action? What steps can you actually take to move from wherever you are to where you want to be? And that's kind of the essence of the whole program.
Well, you mentioned before we hit record that your business has pivoted
Mm,
a little bit and you're doing a little bit more coaching than, and the way you just described the program, coaching is the perfect add-on to that program, because essentially coaching is about being prospective on the future
right.
and helping people get from point A to point B based on their goals, their values, their morals. I absolutely love it. I think your content's so powerful. The way you write, your newsletter, I enjoy it. How often are you putting the newsletter out currently?
Well, you know what? Boy, that's a loaded question. The blog from my website, it comes out every couple of weeks or so, but I'm writing, Suzanne, literally every day.
That's
And
amazing.
and it's sometimes it comes out in the form of a post on LinkedIn. Sometimes it's an article that gets published in another magazine. And then sometimes I take a collection of some of the work I may have done over a couple of week period, and I push that out through my newsletter on through my website. So, yeah, but writing for me is sort of just something I do every day. It's part of my work, and it's how I develop the ideas and things that I share. I mean, for me, the biggest way that I sort of identify is thought leadership. I want to make a difference in the way people go about leading others. And I can get that across through, various channels and in various media. So I do a lot of little short video clips. I do a lot of things like this with podcasts. And then, of course, I'm writing all the time and trying to get that stuff out there too.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I would encourage any of my listeners or followers to get on your list to follow Jim, and LinkedIn is the best place to get all of his content. And I look forward to future conversations and inviting you to my monthly coach conversations where I have some incredible people show up and give value and share just what it's like to be in this environment of coaching others, motivating others, inspiring others. And I love what you do. Thanks for being here for Coffee Chat today. How can everybody get in touch with you?
Suzanne, yeah, the easiest way is probably LinkedIn, and also the website is indispensable-consulting.com. And it's easy to remember. The book's indispensable. You know, I've got a whole cottage industry here around indispensability, Suzanne.
Yeah, I love it.
But anyway, thank you for having me on. I really
Oh, you're
appreciate it.
so welcome. And all of Jim's information will be shared in the show notes from today. And if you're watching this in the Idea Lab, we will share it in the comments and you can reach out and get subscribed to Jim's content. So thank you again, Jim, for being here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, me too, Suzanne. Thanks a lot.